Northern Territory's new senator has described the renewable energy industry as a fraud during her maiden speech to Parliament. Matt Cunningham joins me now live. Matt, this speech came as the Northern Territory government announced a policy to achieve zero carbon emissions by 2050.
That's right, Annalise, and we might talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But Sam McMahon is the CLP's first new senator in almost 20 years. She's replaced Nigel Scullion, who was, of course, the Indigenous Affairs Minister. Now, her maiden speech delivered last night was not without controversy. She really took a shot at the renewable energy industry, describing it as a hoax, and she said that Australians really wanted to see lower energy prices and a focus on governments trying to achieve that. Here's a bit of what Sam McMahon had to say during that maiden speech.
Research must continue in the development of renewable technologies, but for commercial use, they currently remain immature and, in many cases, fundamentally flawed. A hoax of immature technology replacing safe, clean, reliable and inexpensive power stations has unfolded, and the quiet Australians are no longer content with subsidising fanciful ideas that have been uncovered as fraud.
Now, Annalise, the Northern Territory's Labor government has already come out and criticised Sam McMahon over this speech. They've accused her of cozying up to the far right of the coalition. Those comments from the Northern Territory's Environment Minister, Eva Lawler, came as the NT government launched a plan to achieve zero emissions by 2050. But this government could have its own issues when it comes to that policy. The Environment Minister was asked several times during a news conference she held this morning about what the cost of its policy would be, and she wasn't really able to give a straight answer. Take a bit of a listen to some of that exchange.
What's the cost of delivering this strategy?
Well, the cost of not delivering this strategy, I think, is probably...
What's the cost of delivering it? We understand the cost of not delivering it. You've described that. What's the cost of delivering it?
What do you give an
Everyone here has conceded we're in a budget emergency. Surely you should be able to tell us or have an idea of what the cost is of implementing.
As I said, the cost of implementing this policy is embedded through government. When you're looking at the cost of government,
have you done any costing around this?
So this is what our government is focused on. It is about getting this response out, hearing from Territorians.
Some shades of the federal election campaign there. Annalise, we know that Bill Shorten ran into all sorts of trouble when he was unable to put a cost on Labor's climate policies in the lead-up to the May election. So it'll be interesting to see how this issue plays out leading up to an election here in the Northern Territory in August next year.
Thank you, Matt. No doubt the same questions will be being asked of the NT government.